course, as always. So your beliefs dictate your results, right? Now, your beliefs dictate who you are, actually. Now, I would love to do a deep dive into this, right? But, you know, I'll use the Browns for example. You know, I'm a Browns fan because, you know, I'm an Ohio resident. I represent all things Ohio, most things Ohio. A vast majority of the things Ohio, right? Um, so there's a belief around the Browns, for example, that the Browns can't get the job done, no matter how good the Browns may be at any given point. There's a belief that the Browns are just going to be the Browns. You know, we're going to fuck it up. You know, there's that belief. And so I'm not necessarily sure if that, you know, dictates the results, but you know, it's a common belief, a common feeling about the Browns that's held even by Browns fans. Went to the first Browns game earlier this year, you know, a couple months ago, or about a month and a half ago now, and you know, it was the Browns Chargers, and the Browns actually, like, they rallied at the end and actually were close, very close to coming back and winning that game. They lost by like 2 points. Had an opportunity to kick a field goal, like a 53-yard field goal or something like that. And as they were, right before they, you know, they made that final drive that almost, you know, brought them back and won the game, I heard a guy sitting in front of me. Now, he had on a Browns jersey. He had on a Browns jersey, you know, representing the team and all of that. I heard him look over to his, I think it might have been his brother or whoever, you know, whoever was with him. I heard him look over, I saw him look over, and I heard him say, "Don't get your hopes up." Right? It's still the Browns. Now, I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure if he said, you know, it's still the Browns, but I know for a fact he said, "Don't get your hopes up." Right? That is the belief that people have, you know, about the Browns. Even though they've bought tickets, even though they are wearing Browns jersey, you know, a Browns jersey, it does not matter. There's still the belief that it's still the Browns, right? And so now we're talking about, you know, a team, an organization, you know, versus the fans of that organization, right? But, and you know, some people might not believe it's that deep. You know, some people might not believe it's necessarily connected. I do. I really do. You know, the organization can't necessarily affect or change how the people feel about it. You know, even though there is an energy, you know, that comes out, right? That energy does, even in some small form, affect the whole. I truly do believe that, right? So anyway, that's just one example. But let's bring it down. Let's bring it down to a personal level, right? See, you know, our thoughts, you know, our beliefs. First of all, our beliefs are created by, you know, our thoughts, right? And, you know, there's a whole formula that I'm not going to get into here because I can't remember it. But that's also a belief, right? That I can't remember it. But I'm quite sure if I actually said it, then, you know, it would come to me, right? But that started with a thought, right? That started with the thought that, you know, I can't remember things unless it's right in front of me, right? You know, that's a belief, you know, that I currently have, and it's resulted in me not telling you what the belief formula is, or thinking that I can't tell you what the belief formula is, right? But basically, a thought happens. You have this thought, a situation happens, and you have this thought about the situation. You filter that, you know, that information you know, through your previous experiences, how you feel right now, all of those things, right? You filter that information through that filtering system, so to speak. And you know, the more and more you do that, it creates a belief, right? It creates a belief, and the longer you hold on to that belief, you know, the more and more it affects what happens in the outside world, right? So really what you want to do is you want to start digging into what those beliefs are. Like, instead of trying to change what's going on the outside world, you know, start changing what's going on in here. Start changing what's going on in here, right? Start start thinking of yourself. Start seeing yourself as, you know, somebody who can do this XYZ thing, right? So again, it all starts with a belief. You can want to, I don't know, make more money, right? That's a common thing that a lot of people want to do. You know, a lot of people want to make more money, but if you have this belief that people like me can only make a certain amount of money, right? No matter what you do, you can try to start business after business after business, but if you still have this internal belief that people like me can only make so much, right? And I'm talking to myself right now. You know, I'm talking to me right now, because that has always been my experience, right? Someone like me can only make, or only makes, a certain amount of money. I'll give you an example, right? You know, back in the day when the whole social media marketing agency thing, you know, that whole craze was all over the internet, you know, the whole Ty Lopez thing and all that shit. That shit came, you know, that came about. And he was selling, you know, like $1,000 course or something, basically not telling people anything. But you know, that whole thing came about, you know, and I went out there and I started, you know, my social media marketing agency, right? And a lot of people, you know, they always say, like, you can make, you know, you can charge businesses $1,000 a month, you know, just to run their social media, you know, get, you know, 10 clients, you're making 10,000 a month, and you know what I'm saying, like, they sold it very well, you know, they sold it very well, and I'm like, you know, all I need is just an extra $1,000 a month, right? Because all I'm thinking about is, you know, how much I'm making right now, and how much that extra $1,000 a month would make a big difference, right? And I can understand, right, how that, you know, I could be like, oh, that's all I need. Like, I'd be grateful for that. Like, I'd be happy with just that, right? But it's still limited thinking. It's still very, very limited thinking, because all I'm doing is I'm looking at my current situation, right? I'm looking at my current situation, and I'm minimizing the possibility of what I could create, what I could make happen. I'm minimizing the possibility to fit into my current reality. I'm not looking at it like, you know, all right, I'm gonna set this goal. I want to make 10 grand a month because I want to be the type of person who makes 10 grand a month. No, I minimized that possibility. I minimized, you know, I minimized the goal, right? I minimized the whole, you know, opportunity, right, to fit into my current reality. Not, oh yeah, I could start this thing, be making, you know, $10,000 a month. You know, I could start this thing, you know, and be making 6 figures, you know, well on to making 7 figures, you know, once I really get it going, right? You know, I'm gonna start this thing and, you know, change my change the narrative of my family, right? You know, I'm gonna start this thing and, you know, completely change my life, my wife's life, make other people, you know what I'm saying, like give opportunities to other people, right? No, I wasn't looking at it like that. I was looking at it as, shit, I just need this extra $1,000 a month and I'll be good. You know what I'm saying? That's how that I completely minimized what was possible, what it could have been, right? Just to fit into. And on the surface, that doesn't sound like a bad thing. On the surface, it doesn't sound like a bad thing. Like, you know, what's wrong with that? Like um, you're being grateful for, you know, just the smallest of possibilities, right? That's how I looked at it. You know, I would be grateful to just have just a little bit of that. But I made it into a little bit, right? I completely minimized what was possible because of the belief system that I had. And a lot of my, you know, there are quite a few beliefs that I need to really, you know, analyze and work on, that would cause me to uh, minimize, but or you know, minimize that opportunity, minimize that possibility. Um, but it again, it all started. It all started with a belief, and there are a ton of other beliefs that I have and have always had that have affected what I couldn't make possible in my life, and that is something that I'm currently working on. Something I'm currently working on, and you know, something that hopefully, you know, this will inspire other people to work on as well. So hopefully this helped. As always, definitely helped me out. I truly be making these for myself, you know, just to kind of analyze my own thoughts, you know, kind of coach myself. But yeah, so let me know how this helped, if this helped. If you're watching this, really appreciate it. And talk to you next time.